We are live currently. Welcome to us where we are live. Obscure reference with the Opum, Apum, One Piece of Our Minds, Chapter 1086 review. It is first thing in the morning. I'm not even sure they make times earlier than 9 o'clock anymore. But new chapter just about to drop. So we're sitting here. We missed the past 2 weeks because Patrick was fighting a secret war, if I remember correctly. And then there was one time he was at a Taylor Swift concert where he may or may not have also been fighting a secret war.
Yep. Yep. Against the lizard people.
The lizard. But yeah, so we missed a few weeks. We definitely regret missing those weeks because a lot happens in those weeks. So we're back this week. We expect nothing but big things. Big news! For real though,
Big
quick
news.
recap from what we did miss. Turns out the Nefertaris are a D.
Isn't that
Turns out
wild?
Lily is not emu, which I'm mildly disappointed about.
I'm glad that got debunked so quickly.
Dude, how awesome would that have been though? Come on.
Yeah, a little easy. Okay.
No, think about it, okay? She doesn't come back from the first reverie. And there's only 19 swords of the 20 kings pledged, okay? There should be
Well,
20, even if she decides
hold on.
not to be a celestial dragon, so it only makes sense
Hold
that
on.
there's only 19 because she's gone.
Can we quickly get back on the recap? Because, like, we didn't really talk about the Gorosei having what looked like double fruit powers.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was them or if that was like Emu manipulating them.
Oh, I wonder because Emu also started transforming into something too. So I don't
I saw
know.
an interesting theory that Emu might have the nightmare fruit, and Luffy's got like the fruit of dreams.
Interesting.
I
I
don't know
like
how I
that.
feel about it, but it definitely somebody has thought those thoughts.
I was listening to someone last week saying it was like a mythical Zoan, like it was a human fruit, but the model was like Satan.
Yeah, no, I
So,
could
but
definitely see like the model being devil. Who
hmm
was I watching? I think it was Morge. It might have been Archer though.
hmm
Um, and they were arguing that he's going to be the devil, but it's
yeah,
not Satan devil. It's going to be like the 1930s Mickey Mouse cartoons squiggly devil to
yeah.
counteract Luffy's cartoonies.
That's what the guy I was listening to, Roger Space. That's what he was saying too.
I just
Like
I
straight out of Cuphead.
Yeah, no, like straight to the Cuphead stuff. I'd love to see it because like what series final villains are two? I granted they're all cartoon characters, but the cartoon characters.
hmm
Thing realistic, all goofy, yet somehow the most serious.
Yeah. Now I'm
It.
curious to see what that is.
I'm so looking forward to it. Okay, what else do we have to cover? Because yeah, you're right. Definitely looks like they have devil fruits. The Gorosei.
Uh,
You think Cobra's
I
gonna survive this?
we know he's dead. That's not a secret.
Oh god. Oh, the
I
chapter's out.
I just refreshed. Oh, it sure is.
Okay, so right off the bat, this is fucking beautiful. It's the Straw Hats playing in a puddle, but the puddle's reflecting a rainbow. You got Frankie riding a bike through a puddle. His hair's on fleek. You got Chopper
It's
made
an
a little
umbrella.
cat friend. You
Where's
can be on
Zoro?
fleek and be an umbrella.
Where's Zoro?
I'm wondering if there's a second page. Where
Where's
is
Jinbei?
Zoro? I can't imagine
Where's
they left Jinbei out of the water one. Nope, that's it. No second
no?
page.
I'm looking at the double spread. There's nothing.
Hmm.
They include a cat, but no Jinbei and Zoro.
I can't imagine they left Jinbei and Zora out of this. We just aren't
Well,
looking close enough. It's like one of those I Spy books.
I do want to shout out. Um, let's go Pride Month. Let's go. It's June.
Oh my
Shout out.
god, wait, is that why they did the rainbow?
Well,
Oh,
it's a reader request, but it just kind of worked out that way.
yeah, no, that's so nice. Shout out Pride Month. Maybe that's why Zora and Jinbei aren't here, is they don't support.
Zoro's racist. That's pretty common knowledge.
He also won't cut naked men, and that's a pretty red flag in my book.
Yeah, that's pretty sus Zoro.
Jinbei, we know he's been on the receiving end of the racisms. Maybe he wanted a turn to hit back.
Maybe he saw his chance with.
Anyway,
I
no,
don't know
shout
who
out
this
Pride
stuff is.
Month. We're just fucking around here. Let's start reading.
All right. Do we have a chapter title? No,
Chapter
nothing. All right.
title: The Five Elders.
The Five Elders. Okay,
I said
chapter
that.
10:8-6.
Here
He
we go.
said that. And so the reverie came to a close, with the truth of King Cobra's murder kept under wraps. Boom. And this is Igaram. He's like, tell me, have you seen this girl? Has anyone seen Princess Vivi of Alabasta? And you got some knights. Oh, there's Chaka. And he's like, where's the king? And then you got Pell. And Chaka's like, he's ill and needs help. I'm a little sick, so you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little goofy today.
I'm gonna make you do all the
Pell,
reading anyway.
Pell didn't say that. I said that. Okay. While on the ships taking the various royals home, a number of stowaways kept their heads low. All right, turn the page. Here's Wapple and Vivi.
Oh, freaking Bonnie.
And he's like, hey, which country's ship is this? And Vivi's like, it belongs to the Aegis Kingdom.
Oh shit.
It's Aegis' ship, Morgans, says the transponder's now talking to Morgans, and he's on his little world news thing. He's like, got it. We'll bring the office to the ship under the guise of reporting, and you need to slip under their noses to hop on board. I appreciate this. Hey, you're a king fleeing for his life. That's big news. I can't wait to dig into this. Oh, Wapple. Okay, got it. Wapple's calling Morgans. Got it.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
that makes sense. And he's like, well, what did you see, Wapple? He's like, I can't say. Least of all to you. Go back to your own ship. She's like, I can't. Those people are CP0. If I go back to join the others, they'll just abduct me again. Let me use that transponder now. I need to get in touch with my father. He's a worrywart. Waffle's like, don't. Trust me, that's the last thing you want to do. She's like, why do you say that? Meanwhile, you got CP0 looking for Vivi and Sabo. There's Spandam. And
Fucking
I forget.
Spandam. Wait, they
Wait,
let him into CP0?
yeah, I think we knew this. This is
Yeah,
like
you know what? We
Dressrosa.
did know that. I just forgot about it. But like, why? Okay.
Where's Funfrey? Where's Funfrey? That's what I want to know. Justice for Funfrey. All right, so now we're looking at Bonnie. She's like, I'm so hungry. And she's on the Tajin Kingdom ship in the ship's hold. And then that looks like Sabo. And he says, once I get to Lucia, things should work out.
I
Wink.
bet they do.
And he's thinking back about Cobra. And who's saying, I'm counting on you, Sabo. You must survive.
Okay, quick
He's,
point out though. Sabo's beaten badly. Like he is all
yeah,
bloodied and bruised and beaten.
yeah.
Emu like straight up damn near killed Sabo. This ain't nobody to be fucking with.
Hmm.
Like it looks one sided.
Yeah, well, he was trying to protect Cobra. If you
Still,
recall. I'm not saying he would have fared much better if he
like he
wasn't.
was going toe to toe with Fujitora back on Dressrosa. You know, he took out Burgess, no sweat.
Yeah.
He got fucked by Emu. Okay, okay, next.
Okay. Very soon, the news came out of the assassination of King Cobra of Alabasta, the disappearance of his daughter, Princess Vivi, sacred Mary Jo, and this Sabo fellow, another man who bears a checkered fate. No one has led a life more affected by the deed. Wink. But I'd really like to be finished with this egghead business. What is it? Okay, Emu. Oh, they're getting a call on transponders now. Uh, and we're cutting to Emu in Pangea Castle. I wish to use Vegapunk's creation, the Mother Frame. And we're back to the
Mother
Rose.
frame.
Indeed, we will not know if it is real until it is tested. Perhaps the results of such a test might influence our handling of the egghead matter. A test on forested land would do better than open sea. The Lucia Kingdom. Ooh, we're
Okay,
connecting the
wait.
dots.
So is it just coincidence they're attacking Lelucia, or do they know that's where Sabo's headed?
That's a good question.
Okay.
Something to keep in mind. Um,
Oh yeah, no,
however,
there's too many. This definitely looks intentional now. One sentence later.
there are many people there. It is no matter. Very well. The world is as the Creator wills it. Why do you choose Lulusia? Wow. Okay.
It
And it just
is.
says it is close, and they're all agreeing indeed.
Ooh, all the
And
name
we're getting
drops.
all the name drops, and we're gonna. I'm just gonna go through their speech bubbles real quick. Or actually, no, we'll go one by one. All right. So we got Jay Garcia Saturn. We already know about him.
Yeah.
Godhead of Science and Defense. He says we shall take the necessary steps to make it so. And we jump over to the Godhead of Environment, Saint Marcus Mars, and he says there are signs of rebellion in Lucia's populace,
He's the really tall one with the long beard.
with the long beard and mustache.
He's the
And
one who's
then,
secretly Gandalf and Saruman.
hmm and then we jump over to Mr. Gorbachev,
I
who
was
is the
hoping this
Godhead.
was going to be Gorbachev.
He is the Godhead of Justice, known as Saint Topman Workery. It may serve as an example to others. Then we jump over to Gandhi with the sword, and uh, he says, and if we could use its power freely, and he is the Godhead of Finance, and his name is Saint Ethan Baron V. Newsgero. There's a good chance I'm butchering these names, by the way. And then we get the last guy who everyone thought was related to Sanji, and he is the Godhead of Agriculture, and his name is Saint Shepherd Jupiter. And he says, then we can bring this ancient
Oh,
battle to its
wait,
conclusion.
I was sitting here complaining, like, why aren't they all planet names? But he's Jupiter.
Oh,
Yeah, like
really?
it. I can't figure out
Sure.
Ethan Baron v. Noosturo's name.
Maybe it's Venus.
It's got to be Venus, but I don't see how you're supposed to pronounce that.
Yeah.
Also, I
Oh
don't
no
know
no
why
no! I see
War.
it.
Where?
V. Dot Nis Drew.
There we go. Now why is Warcury not just Mercury?
Because he's the god of, I don't know.
Because
I don't
Mars
know.
is the god of war, right?
I believe. So yeah, Mercury is typically Hermes, who's the god of
Yeah,
messengers. So I don't know. It's a good question.
whatever. They're all there though in some form. I like Jupiter
It's
the best.
Jupiter might be my favorite. I didn't even pick up on that. That's funny.
I really like that one. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. Um, there is one other thing. Yes, I desire Vivi, and they all say will be done. The navy was stretched thin between the end of the Seven Warlords, and then we're up at Navy
Marineford.
headquarters, and they're saying rebellion at Tajin and in Aegis, and quelling the sudden uprisings in member countries of the government. And they're saying send out the Seraphim. Crocodile appears in empty bluffs. Okay, so that's where Buggy is, right?
Yes. Also, quick shout out that Crocodile
Ooh.
Seraphim still has a scar across his face.
Yeah, I like little Moria and Dofi. Like we
I
knew what
fucking
Dofi
love
looked
little
like
Dopey.
before.
Look at that little guy's swagger.
Like we knew what he looked like before, but we haven't seen young Moria that much. I don't think so. This
So
is
Gecko
fun,
Moria just gets fat when he's middle aged.
pretty much.
Dang, dude, you let
However,
yourself go.
however, this was only the start of a new Navy campaign. We're flashing back to the present. We're back with Sabo and the revolutionaries. He's saying the moment we landed in the Lucio, the people were ready. The people were ready. They took King Seki and Princess Komain prisoner and welcomed me with open arms when I emerged from hiding. That was the first time I saw the news in the paper and learned that I was accused of regicide. They treated me as a hero, and though I wished to tell them of the truth of what happened, I just couldn't do it. Not when their revolutionary passion was so strong. Thanks to Betty and the others, Lucio is full of motivated people who wanted to join the Revolutionary Army. Those are the ones I brought back with me. So that was where we first saw the Revolutionary Captain Generals when they were introduced.
They were
We see
captains. They are
the
captains.
my captains, their captains,
That's my
Ishi, they
captain.
captains. So let's see, turning the page. I couldn't get a jamming transponder snail, which is why I couldn't send a signal back home. So the message I did send was a relay call as we were leaving port. If the government picked up the signal, they'd assume I was on the Lucia, but in fact I was already at sea with our hopeful recruits.
Aha, ah.
And it was then, while on the call, that the vanishing of Lucia happened, I presume, and that's Eva asking that. And Saba's like, yes, it was a horrible scene on the ship. Most of those people left families behind, and they saw their home destroyed before their eyes.
Oh my god.
That's terrifying. And
I actually thought
Dragon,
this was one of those where everybody got out alive.
kind of did too.
Damn. Fucking
There's
One
Dragon.
like late game One Piece pulls no punches.
I'm down. I'm down if I mess around. Here's Dragon saying it's a harrowing thing. What in the world happened? Great shadow covered the entire sky. In the very next moment, we're back on Dragon and saying a great shadow. And we're back on Sabo, something that no living natural creature could explain. Some dark, vast thing flew above the clouds. And we're just seeing Lucia Kingdom with really dark clouds over it. Um, all right, and we're back to Eva. Sabo, you said the name Emu earlier. That's right. Well, this is going to sound very strange, but among the first 20 who created the world 800 years ago, there was a monarch named Saint Emu of the Nerona dynasty. Look at this. Which they're handing Sabo a book,
Presumably a history book.
I would imagine. And it's said that the means to create everlasting life exists in this world. Well, someone had to have proved it. Someone out there has been living for ages and ages without dying. Then you're saying that's who I saw in there? Maybe the name is just a coincidence, but if the five elders are the greatest authority among the celestial dragons, so-called descendants of the gods, who else could possibly lord it over men like them? And there's one more wild leap in this story, my boy. If this thing you saw fly over the clouds and destroy an entire nation was a government weapon, then only Vegapunk could have created it. And Dragon's like, hold on, Eva. Vegapunk would not build such an obvious tool of murder, right? But what if it were an ancient weapon? And if Emu were alive since ancient times, it all links up. Dragon saying, Robin told us that the ancient weapons are real, but if the government is in possession of a weapon, why have they not used it before? And why use it now? Turn in the page? Nope.
Oh, don't turn that page.
I turned it. There's
Now
no
read
going
it,
back.
read it, read the page.
In the present day in sacred Mary Joa, a single celestial dragon had just been executed. Huh? We have no food, no bread, only cake to eat. But this was not news meant for the world to hear. The man who passed the sentence was once the ruler of a place called God Valley. Oh, okay. All right. I'm glad we're getting this. All right.
Oh
Today
shit.
he is the supreme commander of the Holy Knights. His name is Saint Figarland Garling. The man he had executed for protecting the fishmen was Saint Don Quixote Miosgard. Stand up for subhuman scum, and you sink even lower. One Piece, chapter 1086, and to be continued. Boom. That was
Okay,
dynamite.
wait, so this is the guy who ruled over God Valley? What kind of implications does that even have?
There's a lot to unpack there, honestly.
But there's nothing to unpack it. Look at the background. The celestial dragons are cheering that Don Quixote Mosgard is dead.
Yeah,
Fucking
that
hell,
is
I
it.
liked them.
I did too. Um,
There's I don't even know where to begin. Let's just go back and we'll work through the chapter.
I might
Okay,
have
so
shot something.
what the hell's up with Wapple actually? He's acting fairly smart. He's hiding. He's called for Morgans for an evac. He won't tell Vivi what he saw, and he doesn't want her to go asking her father. Like he's outwardly and selfishly not telling people this. I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
could be screaming it, telling everyone, and making a lot of targets, but he's being the only one. Oddly noble.
Okay. I just want to throw out there too. I was curious. I saw this briefly float across my timeline. But Oda will be going on a break for a month for eye surgery. So
Freaking
that's what's up with
idiot.
that.
Eyeballs? Who
Freaking
even?
not certainly not someone who strains them 12, 18 hours a day every day of the week.
Nope.
Certainly not him.
At that point, his eyes are used to it. They're good at it. They've had practice. No, for real. I wish him all the best. Take as much time as you need. I mean, you've been pumping these out
Absolutely,
pretty much nonstop for the past 20 something years. Take a fiver.
absolutely. So yeah, how did Wapple get Big News's number?
Well,
You know,
I'm sure that's just because he's a royal head of state. You know, he's going to have access to the press.
maybe, but that's world government. I mean, Big News is Morgan's News is isn't that just like his own thing? Isn't it technically like a third party neutral organization?
Yeah, but you're telling me he wouldn't give his transponder stale number out to just every king he could, every important person, in case they have some big news?
I don't know. I mean, I think it works here in this case because I can totally see Waffle being like, "Hey, look, I donated to this cause. You should write a story about it or whatever." But
I find it a lot more believable. He might have just like called the main office and had them patch him through. It was like, yeah, I'm King Wappa
uh,
and I've got big news. I'm not
yeah,
too
I don't
hung
know.
up on how he got his number.
It's just curious and interesting.
Yeah.
I do want to shout out. I totally missed this on our first read through, but when they're looking for Vivi and Mary Joa and the
Mhm.
Cyberpole Zero guys holding up the sign, then there's Stelly right there, and he's head over heels for Vivi.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yeah.
I saw a guy who looked oddly like Sanji, but yeah, you're right, that's Stelly.
So shout out to Stelly, my guy. Everyone's
Okay,
favorite
so
character.
we definitely saw him like eyeing the empty throne earlier. You think he's gonna try and
Yeah.
claim it and just get like eaten by Emu?
Was he the one that saw Emu in the first place?
Man, it's been so long, but that sounds familiar.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna investigate. I'm gonna investigate. Oh, there's a cool double spread or for the cover for One Piece and Shonen Jump. It's cool.
Nice. Let's see. Didn't really do anything interesting with V or Bonnie. Still, I'm surprised that Sabo got beaten so badly so quickly. Like he was protecting and running, and he just got effed in the A. No good tickling.
No, yeah.
So now my question really does still stand. Did they target Lulicia on accident, coincidence? Was it targeted? Because Emu's only explanation is it's close. Oh, you know what? It's
Mm.
close, so that's where Sabo's gonna be headed. Like that's the next likely spot he's gonna
Uh,
pop up at.
sure. They're able to justify it with all the revolutionary activities going on there.
So yeah, we definitely have to consider the fact that this might have been Uranus. But Dragon's right. Why wouldn't they have used it before now? You know, and also how would they have gotten Uranus?
They
And is
also,
Uranus just a thing and not a person?
I wanna throw out there too. Probably a pie in the sky thing at this point, but like, what else? Had dark clouds, before it obliterated an island.
Remind me. It's too early.
The arc, the arc Maxim.
Okay, but I can't imagine the Arc Maxim is Uranus. I can imagine
No, they built
NL
that ship.
went to space, found
Like,
Uranus, made Uranus, whatever, and came back and is maybe working with them.
I'm just
But
saying,
I'm
it's
not saying
awfully similar.
it did have a giant lightning beam attack. Maybe NL was Uranus the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna run back through the Gorosei names. You got Jay
Go for it.
Garcia Saturn, Marcus Mars, which that's a great one. Saint Topman Workury, Man, that's probably my least favorite just because it's not even a play on the word Mercury. It's just a word that sounds like Mercury. St. Ethan Baron Venus Juro. And St. Shepherd Jupiter. Definitely my favorite one. Like Jupiter, my boy.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Uh,
I love a good one.
it's definitely Jupiter, Marcus Mars. I gotta give it up to Jay Garcia Saturn. It's not even a pun or anything. I like the name Jay Garcia Saturn. Followed by my boy Venus, who takes a sad fourth place. Nothing personal, buddy. Competition was just
Nothing.
stiff. Mercury, though, you're in fifth on purpose. Yeah, no, Jupiter, definitely the coolest. Dude, the young seraphim. Wait a minute. So it says crocodile appears in the empty bluffs.
Yeah.
Where were Moria and Doflamingo?
No, I think what they're saying is Crocodile's now working with Buggy. He's in Empty Bluffs.
Oh, I see. You're right. They'd definitely be calling them like S Croc. You're right. You're right.
Hmm. That's how I took it, because like
Yeah, no, that's
three or two
definitely the way
former
you should
warlords.
be reading it. It's just the fact that he was also on screen with his seraphim. I was like, oh
Yeah,
wait.
yeah, that's completely understandable, honestly.
Okay, so what is the remind me? Have we been introduced to the Aegis Kingdom before?
I will do a quick Google. I
I
don't
feel like maybe
recall.
they've been mentioned, but I don't think we've actually done anything with them in the past.
It's always ever been like, if it was, it would have been mentioned like in an offhand comment. But um, no, I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, okay, so it just kind of showed up today. It just seemed fairly important for not much.
Hmm. I mean, it could just be one of those like throwaway, like here's a country that's out there. They're also having some turbulent political times.
And then the
Yeah.
whole stuff with Sabo, Eva, and Dragon around the table, and we're told there was an emu 800 years ago. I mean, who didn't know emu was from the Void Century?
Yeah, we all kind of had a feeling, I think, right?
Now, I still am firmly convinced emu is a girl, even if it's not Lily. I was
Hmm.
convinced female from the beginning. That's why Lily fit the bill so well. Because emu spelled backwards is umi, and umi
Yeah.
is the god of nature. And the way I see it, emu takes over. Nature's, flipped backwards, and that's why emu's on top and not umi. I mean, the sad song is even called Mother Sea. Been a while since
Hmm.
we've heard Mother Sea, but there's
But
that's not a coincidence in the spelling.
no,
I guess since it's flipped, emu could also be a boy, but I'm sold on girl. And
I
we have
do
some
wanna,
strong girl bosses in the world.
I do wanna shout out Eva, very explicitly saying there's a means to create everlasting life. Pretty much saying that, hey, someone used the immortal operation on
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah,
So
I mean, we knew it had to have been done before because how else would you know it could be done?
right.
And yeah, I think people initially thought that served as a death flag for Law, but I really
Yeah.
think it just served to let us know someone in this world is immortal.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, which I'm relieved. I didn't want Law to die, so fine with that. He still
Yeah.
could die.
Oh, very, very possibly could, but
Okay,
I.
hear me out. Hear me out. Maybe the only way to kill an immortal being is to be an immortal being. So Luffy has to be made immortal by Law, sacrificing himself, but as a D, like serving that higher purpose of taking down the
Mm.
Saints.
I,
Because tell me that's not what Corazon would have wanted him to do. Is like not die obviously, but
right.
bring down the celestial dragons at all costs.
No, of course, I agree on that part, but I don't know if because like I don't see Luffy going for that.
I don't see Law giving Luffy a chance. I see Law just like doing it, Luffy realizing his friend died for him, and then having to go all out against the devil of the world. I mean, this is speculation. There is no hard evidence for this. I could just imagine that. And then
I
right
think of
before the final climactic battle, we just have to deal with a fan favorite murdered, or I guess sacrificed.
I just think that when you become immortal, then you start does that make you a god? And the D clan are the enemy of the gods, and I don't
I
know.
think,
That's
but
my hard line
D
there.
Clan are the enemy of the gods because the gods are the bad guys. They're self-declared gods. You know, before the world government was a thing, was the D Clan enemy of the gods then, or were they just, you know, the old gods? I don't take that as like a prophecy or anything, just because it's man-made. It's self-declared by the celestial dragons. If you'll excuse
Yeah,
me, big whiny baby, get out of here.
big whiny baby.
But yeah, so I'm fine if Luffy ends up like he is a god. He's the sun god. So I don't just see them as like the inherent enemies of the gods. It's the celestial dragons declared themselves god, and the D clan are their enemy.
I don't know. I just don't see it going that way.
Like you don't have to see him becoming immortal. You have to admit he's a god. He's the sun god Nika. Like that's all
That's
there
not
is
what
to it.
that's not what we're arguing.
He's a god.
I was just saying he doesn't
Yeah,
probably wouldn't want to
yeah.
be immortal. All right.
Oh yeah, I guess we then would have to deal with Luffy being immortal.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't know. Maybe then the story is just he and Brooke get to spend the rest of eternity as best friends. Brooke's immortal, right?
I think so. It's not like he really has a body to worry about.
Yeah. Like, how long does it take for bones to deteriorate? They don't really, do they? No, because
No,
fucking
not really.
dinosaurs are a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
No,
might
Brooke's
deteriorate.
effectively immortal.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, likely has an ancient weapon. So this ancient weapon talk, is this like fan baiting? Is this because he knows the fans are saying it could be an ancient weapon? Or is this like confirmation that they might have an ancient weapon?
Well, he said let's use the mother frame, or Emu said they to use the mother frame. Vegapunk's creation, the mother frame. We don't know what that is. It could be like an imitation of an ancient weapon.
Actually,
I
yeah,
don't know.
that's 2 points I didn't think to connect there. Sorry to interrupt, but Eva's like this had to be Vegapunk's doing, and Dragon's like there's no way Vegapunk could do that. But they are using the mother frame, so what is it Vegapunk made that shouldn't be a weapon, but they were able to use as a weapon?
Hmm. And if by some way this was a weapon intentionally made as a weapon, was it actually Vegapunk that made it, or was it the bad egg, the one
York.
that's the traitor York? Was it York that made it?
Man, I don't think York or any Vegapunk for that matter would be able to possibly make a recreation of an ancient weapon without being noticed by the others.
Hmm.
Like,
I'm just saying, I could totally see York in a power play be like, "Hey, I made this. Make me a celestial dragon."
is that what York's after?
Pretty sure, yeah.
It's been so long, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been
God,
a while.
I just honestly, I was having so much fun with our like murder mystery, and then they told us who the murderer is, and we just haven't been back for like 2, 3 months now, and we're about to take a
Yep.
month off.
Yep.
Not pissed about the timing because we've had a lot of great chapters between now and then, but damn, I was having so much fun on Egghead.
Starting to forget who's the main character of this series again. Who are we following?
I'm pretty sure it's Mjosgard, and this is actually the final chapter.
Oh, is this it? This is the last
Yeah,
chapter?
yeah. It
Well, there you
says to
go,
be
folks.
continued. That's a typo.
There you go, folks. This has been our reaction to the final chapter of One Piece. Thank you for joining us.
It's a good series overall.
Yeah,
3 out of 10. I might watch it again sometimes.
main character didn't show it till like 2/3 into the story, but other than that,
And he was only in like 4 chapters total.
really,
But that's the artistic value.
right,
He's
exactly,
pulling the
yeah.
strings the entire time, but he's never even on screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's the makings of a good main character.
That's a
Who
good
was
character.
also racist when we introduced him. And then
Yeah,
just
but
violent every other time.
died for not being racist. So it full circle, really.
Full circle.
Speaking of half circles, can we talk about this Holy Knight guy?
Yeah, for sure. I don't even know where to begin on him. Like, this has been the part of the chapter I was really trying to discuss last because I don't even know where this conversation's gonna go.
Well, let me start off because I have two brief thoughts. One, it was a couple of chapters ago at this point where they revealed the concept of a Holy Knight. I'm like, interesting. I can
Okay,
see
let
those
me
being
start
important.
even simpler than that.
Mhm.
His name is Saint Figureland Garling, and that's just a
Yeah.
great name. The Celestial Dragons' names are really fucking perfect.
Yes. I
Anyway,
also
now
want
do the actual discussion. I just wanted to mention his name.
I also want to point out that his head looks like the moon guy
Lunatone.
from those really old McDonald's commercials where he's playing the piano and saying it's time to get some Mac tonight. And he's singing Mac the knife. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, no,
Moon guy
I
McDonald's.
genuinely don't know what you're talking about. His head is straight up Lunatone, or apparently Mayor McBurger.
Here, I'm gonna send you this image because this is like
On what,
iconic.
Discord?
Yeah, I'll send it over Discord. But it was an ad campaign that McDonald's ran like the 80s or 90s or something, and it was this guy with the head of a moon singing to the tune of Mac the Knife, which is like this old gangster song, and he's just talking about how you gotta go to like get some Mac tonight. You know what I mean? Oops, not that one.
Oh, come on now.
Um,
But
whoa,
yeah, so Figurand Garling, my dude, the Supreme Commander of the Holy Knights. So the Holy Knights are now officially like a particular thing that matter.
hmm
Patrick, I hate whatever that is, and that's going to fuel my nightmares tonight. Thank
You
you.
should look up the commercials. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
But let's get back to Figurand Garling and the Holy Knights.
Yeah,
Um, didn't they say there was 10 Holy Knights, or am I making that up?
I'd have to go back and look. I don't remember the number if they
Okay,
gave
well,
one.
theoretically, we got like the strong arm directly of the Celestial Dragons. Not that Cypher pulls anything to scoff at,
hmm
but now we have like their direct soldier subordinates,
The
with theoretically one to a Straw Hat.
Yeah,
Uh,
I totally meant to bring these guys up earlier when they first were introduced, because when they were introduced, we see silhouettes, and one of them looked like they had a sword similar to what Shanks has, but I could see that easily being bigger than sword here.
I'll definitely have to go back and take a peeky poo at that. Another thing worth talking about going into the final saga
hmm
are the five elders. Are they combatants? Like, they allegedly have devil fruits. Frickin' Ethan Baron Venus Juro has a sword.
Yeah,
Are we gonna like have to have straw hat matchups with these guys? And especially
okay.
considering Luffy's going after Emu, like, what other five straw hats are class S combatants?
I just want to throw out there, there's no number given with the Holy Knights.
Okay, so I
Yeah,
did make that part up. Good call.
yes, good call. All right. So anyway,
But yeah, I mean, we have the Seraphim, we have Cypher Pole, we have the Holy Knights, and we have the Elders to get through.
hmm
This has to be the conflict where the Grand Fleet comes into play.
no question, no
Like,
question.
there's just way too many matchups for this to work. I really thought they might come in against Blackbeard. No, they're definitely coming in
Nah,
against World Government.
you,
And
I
my
think, yeah,
favorite part about that matchup is where are the Marines? You know,
right.
because Fujitora straight up was already like stopping the celestial dragons.
Yeah.
Ryokugu just wants my God, I'm blanking on his name. Help me.
Who? Ryukyugi? What's
Akainu.
up with?
What's his name?
Oh, Sakazuki.
Sakazuki. Thank you. Yeah, Ryokugu's just after Sakazuki's admiration. Frickin' Borsalino. Where the hell? I was gonna say, where's he? He's headed to Egghead.
He's going to Egghead,
But
yeah.
like, even Sakazuki is at odds with the government at this point. They have shield, he has sword. Is there going to be a schism where the Marines get to take over after all this? But maybe they're better because they're led by Kobe.
That's my thought, right? I mean, I don't see all the Marines as like factually like good people. Like I think Akainu is the obvious example, but also like Porcelain and Ryukyu to an extent.
Yeah, no, they're
Um,
definitely more gray than anything.
yeah, but like
But you still got Kuzan, you got Smoker. I know Kuzan's not really a Marine, but I don't buy that.
yeah, you got Smoker, you got his underlings, you
Kobe,
got
you
all the
got
G
Garp,
Corps.
you got
Yeah,
everybody associated with Garp.
yep. So there's definitely like a good faction within the Navy, but then you also have like those hard asses that are like, no, true justice, whatever.
But
Uh,
it's those hard asses. It is Sakazuki who is
mhm,
sticking it to the five elders, who's like, I'm gonna do my thing. You're not gonna tell me not to protect.
right,
So
exactly.
even to some extent, he's kind of on the good side. And really, aside from the times he just killed those Marines for deserting, his only real crime to the watchers and readers of the series is that he killed Ace, which, in fairness, he was at an execution.
Well, I'd also throw out O'Hara as something
Oh
else
yeah,
he did.
okay, never mind. Forgot about that. Yeah, let's just that one genocide. Okay, one
Yep,
time, let it
that one
go.
time. hmm
I mean,
So there's that.
you might call it racist, but can you be racist against a group of people that doesn't exist?
That's what I'm wondering. I'm not gonna go down that road. Stop right there. Um,
But yeah, so I see the Marines splitting from the world government, but then you have the world government against the Marines, the Straw Hats, the Grand Fleet, possible other allies.
mhm.
Like that doesn't seem like a fair fight. Even
Or
Wano,
is it?
exactly like, is Emu just that strong? But then I don't want Emu to just take everybody out and bring it down to a 1v1 with Luffy.
hmm
That seems a little too easy. Like, obviously Luffy wins, but at the same time we've been told how overpowered. I don't know. I don't like that scenario. You got the Seraphim, sure, and they're ridiculously strong, but there's a very limited number of them.
Yeah, 7, 8, maybe.
Yeah, so you got them, you got Holy Knights, who I assume will be, pretty cool, but act as little more than fodder. And then, and then what? Like the Celestial Dragons, the majority of them aren't worth much. You got five
Mhm.
Elders. It seems like the good guys are too stacked. I could see them like, oh, we have Uranus as a weapon potentially. But
Mhm.
what, you're just gonna eviscerate the Grand Fleet? I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that even a little bit. I might want to see that some. Like that'd actually be kind of cool to just watch them all die. And
Yeah,
it's the sons Luffy didn't even want, but they came to help him, and now Luffy just has to go all out rage mode.
mhm.
Oh, okay. Quick aside. So I'm watching Primal, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's the fifth episode. Is called like Wrath of the Eight Men. And I'm not going to go into too much detail, but like I find it very hard to believe they did not rip off Nightmare Luffy. There's a
Oh.
guy. He's a big blue hulking mass. His hair is the same. He's wearing shorts.
Mhm.
Like it is Nightmare Luffy. And I'm not accusing them of ripping it off, but at the very least, they saw that and were like, "Whoa, we could do that."
That's funny. Am I my 5 chapter a day reread. I'm in Thriller Bark, and I'm
That
very good
confirms
near
it.
my.
That's a sign. It's all coming
I,
together.
it's just man, that it starts strong, but man, that middle portion just oof, oof.
Yeah, no, Thriller Bark saving grace is that it's not that long. Like if it was any longer, I think I'd like it less. But it starts
Oof.
strong. It's funny. The ending,
It
especially like all the Kuma stuff, Laboon, like that's all great. But
mhm.
everything in between then is just ew.
Man, it drags. Like I just got to the part where Orange just decimates the crew, and I'm like, how many chapters are left in this arc? And it's like 15, 20 still. I'm like, God damn it! All right, okay, fine.
Yep. No, it definitely it's saving grace as it wasn't long.
It's
Uh,
a little too long.
but I think it's also unfairly judged because right before that we have Eni's Lobby and right after that we have Saba Odi, so it's just
Yeah,
sandwiched in by really good things and it just comes out as mediocre.
my thing is
You know
maybe we could
what?
have placed it somewhere else, but
Quick shout out. I forgot they had Ryuma in Thriller Bark and that it especially in hindsight is one of the greatest fights.
that
I
fight
love
is
Zoro
like
v Ryuma.
they expand on that in the anime. It does not spend that much time on it in the manga. It's pretty quick.
Even so, like not just the actual fight, but Zoro fighting Ryuma, getting Shusui, like it's just good. Like the themes are there. And Zoro's heritage obviously coming into play. The fact that it all becomes relevant again in the land of Wano. I really like it as a turning point in storytelling.
I think his fight with Brook was better in the manga, if I'm being honest. Just throwing it out there. More emotionally charged.
I believe there's definitely more emotional charge, but I don't know. There was just something more mysterious about why I care so much about Zoro fighting this dead samurai with a gentleman's ghost shadow. Like, the, don't get the Brook had the emotional charge behind it all, but there was just something about watching Zoro fight him where I was like, this is a real duel.
Uh-oh.
What I didn't like though, I don't know if this was just anime or if it was in the manga. I wasn't reading it that time. uh, Ryuma definitely was getting winded and taking damage, and the whole thing about zombies was they don't get winded or take damage.
Yeah.
Like all
That
the zombies got winded and took damage, even though they didn't. It
well they
just
don't
always bugged me.
yeah, that's less of a thing in the manga for sure. It's very much like you'll see them get hit and you'll see like Hogback be like, no, you might get cut open stuff, but you don't feel pain. Get back up or whatever, you know. But I don't know.
Okay, but yeah, we didn't talk about Figure and Garland at all.
I mean,
Somehow ended up on Thriller Bark.
so is the concept of the Holy Knights, are they just former monarchs or is he a special case?
Well, I mean, he's the Supreme Commander, so I'm inclined to
Hmm.
believe he's a special case. Because I can't imagine, like, after seeing Charlos and Mojgard and Don Quixote before they left, or Don Quixote, like, the entire Don Quixote family, really, like, none of them were real combatants. Of course, until Doflamingo grows up and goes on a murderous rampage.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
the Celestial Dragons appear soft, but I don't know who the Holy Commander or the Holy Knights are. If they're
Yeah,
not celestial dragons, are they hired guns? Are they just random people they get to do security? Or are they like cousins of celestial dragons? Like, are they
I'm
just
just
distantly related, like the equivalent of earls or dukes?
I want to throw this out there as a theory, right? You know how God Valley doesn't exist on any map anymore? How it's just been erased from existence effectively?
Ooh, I see where
What
you're going
if
with this. Let you say it,
I, I
though.
I have two possible ideas, right? What if the king of Lucia, King Seki, I think is what they said his name was. What if he shows up like 20 chapters later? He's like, I'm one of these guys now. Or option B, and I have a harder time allowing this one. I just think it would be a cool twist to see it happen. What if we get the introduction of a new Holy Knight, and it's Cobra, and he's on their side now.
Yeah, that one's not gonna happen.
Probably not, but like
I
think how
think it'd
cool
be
that'd be.
so much fun just for like, oh shit, we have to fight Cobra, but even if we did, he's an old sick man.
Well, they'd
And
probably rejuvenate him. I
that
assume.
just that also comes with the implication of mind control. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there.
It'd be
It'd be
like,
fun.
don't get me wrong, it's a fun thought. That is a fun thought. But
You just don't like having fun. I don't think.
I honestly hate fun.
I knew it.
Yeah, I lived my entire life to eradicate fun. But anywho, so yeah, so he. Do you think he was a celestial dragon at one point, but then they destroyed God Valley, and that like destroys his claim to the throne? So now he doesn't have to leave because he knows their secrets. So they just bumped him to head of security.
I don't think if he was a celestial dragon before that, he would have been the king of an actual kingdom.
Oh
I
wait, is
think
he?
that
Yeah, no, his name is Saint Figurant. Like he's a saint. He's
right.
a celestial
What
dragon.
No, what I'm saying is he wasn't a saint then. I'm saying once he became a holy knight, then they inducted him as an honorary celestial dragon or whatever the saint honorific entails here.
I
I
don't
don't think
think
he
they'd make him
started
an
as a celestial
honorary
dragon.
celestial dragon. Like they view themselves as better than humans.
But if the girls say it, then who could really go against them? And that's who the heavenly knights answer to, you know?
I could see it, but I prefer to think. I don't know. Maybe he even is just like a full blown celestial dragon, and he just happens to be head of security. Maybe that's what his family was charged with all those years ago, and they just hold that position.
Mm, I don't know.
But okay, now so I'll be honest. Up until this time, the God Valley incident, I had always just assumed to be like either Zebek's hideout or maybe it was just like the island where it happened to take place. Like there was no civilization, but he was the ruler
Mm,
of God Valley, so there was
yeah.
something actually going on there. It's not just a location. It's some
Yep.
point that was with the world government, and now I can't help but think God Valley might not just be conveniently named. Like
Hmm.
the
That's a good
Valley of
point.
the Gods was part of the world government, but I mean, now with a name even that significant, I'm just putting all this together now. They destroyed it. They erased it from history.
Hmm.
What the hell happened on God Valley?
Yeah. It's gonna be. I'm gonna be thinking about that one for sure because I didn't even think of the possibility that there was like some sort of kingdom there.
Yeah, no, like I assumed it was either Zebek's hideout or just the island where it happened.
Yeah, and they just called it God Valley after the fact, but maybe there's more significance to it than that.
I mean, obviously, because it was part of the world government, they had named it God Valley. It doesn't just like get that name. So it had
Hmm.
some major significance to either the D clan as gods or the celestial dragons as gods. Valley, for some reason to me, that implies like place of origin. Is this where Emu is from, maybe?
Mm. I don't know about that, but I don't know.
I'm so freaking intrigued. It's crazy how many hoops you can make us jump through with like all of three sentences in a single picture.
It's, right, but like you got to think too. Like we were given the mystery of what God Valley was and what happened there. Like 2 or 3 years ago at this point. No, more than that. 4 years ago. Yeah, right around
Man,
4 years
it's
ago at this
been a
point.
minute.
And like all we got there was like a couple of sentences like, "Hey, these two characters teamed up here." And I'm like, "What?" And then we get nothing, and then we get this 4 years later. I'm like, "What?" So man,
God, now it
it's one of those
just so
things.
what was it? God, like were the world government was this guy still king at the time of the God Valley incident? Were they there? Was there a third
Yeah,
party to all this? Did
it's a good
Garp
question.
team up with Roger to save the kingdom? And that was just a shame the world government couldn't live with?
Yeah, I could see that honestly. There's probably a
Ooh,
little more
yeah.
to it than that, though.
I mean, there's gotta be. There's no way God Valley has just a simple answer I can predict now. It's gonna be something magnificent. It's gonna have just a plot twist you couldn't possibly see coming, despite the fact that he's already given us the big twist of Roger teaming up with Garp.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, like I said, late game One Piece is pulling no punches. Half of Lelouch is dead. Miochgard is dead. Like, Cobra's
Cobra's
dead.
dead.
In fairness, that one happened a while ago. But damn, we went from killing no one to killing everyone real freaking quick.
No one is safe unless they're Straw Hat, probably.
I don't know. I could imagine Usopp dying.
Yeah.
That's
No,
about
that's
the
why I
only
said
one.
probably.
Yeah,
That's why I said probably. Because
but
I could see it happen like one or two, but not all of them, or most
I
of them even.
definitely I don't see Zoro dying. I see his arc as like overcoming death, and I don't think he's gonna live forever. But I think he's gonna die on his own terms. But definitely not in combat. Like he'll just go and accept his time has come, in my opinion. Sanji, I couldn't see him dying. Nami, Robin, no. Jinbei, no. Frankie, no. Brooke, definitely not. So if anyone, it's Usopp. And you know what, Luffy, for that matter. Still got my fingers crossed they execute him at the end of all this.
Hmm.
I just, I mean, he's the new pirate king. I don't see how it ends with anything but his execution.
Where did we see?
Especially if Kobe gets to be the one to shun.
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh wait, I need you to clear something up. I think I can't tell if this was a dream or not.
Hmm.
Have we gotten any indication on who the next Straw Hat is? No, the most recent still
No.
Jinbei, right?
Jinbei's still the most recent.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people clamoring for Vivi to join up with them now.
Oh, that's right. Vivi definitely back on the table. Uh, Bonnie, honestly, I could even see it happening. She fits in real well with them, and she's someone who has obvious backstory and significance, but also
Mhm.
isn't being introduced at the last minute.
Yeah.
I've got a soft spot for Smoker joining them.
Yeah. I highly doubt that, but I would love to see that, honestly.
Well, I might be mistaken on this because I've learned a lot of what I've heard Otis say is just wrong. But you
Hmm.
know, I've heard Otis say that one of the next Straw Hats will be someone who might have been like an enemy in the past, and
Yeah.
that leads Bonnie's possible since they weren't exactly allies back on Sabaody. But that also, Smoker opens the door there, and after him becoming disillusioned with the government and the Marines and seeing that Kuzan can go off and become, Blackbeard's guy, maybe he's just like, maybe the Straw Hats aren't as bad as I think. And
Yeah.
has to be with them now. I could see a lot of fun shenanigans with him, like expecting to be on a military vessel, but living on the Straw Hat ship.
It'd be fun,
I
honestly. It'd be a fun
honestly,
dynamic.
I don't even care if it doesn't happen. Just give me like the couple of months, the one-off series. Just I want to see Smoker living on the Straw Hat ship and having the hardest time adjusting.
Just dealing with everyone.
And then, of course, his fucking captain's the most ridiculous of all of them. Just like looking in the mirror, regretting his life choices.
I'm just remembering, the brief moments they spent together in Crocodile's jail cell, and he's just like, I'm over this shit.
Yeah.
Very much would be like a Law kind of dynamic, just being like, y'all are ridiculous.
So I've been thinking. See, but even more than Law, because Law, despite realizing they're ridiculous, was on a pirate ship. There
Yeah,
was order, but it was still chaos. Smoker's
yeah.
just like by the book, black and white. Let's go.
And that's the
Nope.
funniest part. That's the funniest part about Law's dynamic with them is that sometimes they'll end up getting caught in their
Yep. He's
flow
like, I
and
don't
they'll
like the
just start
crust of my
being
sandwich, and then he's embarrassed that
yeah,
he's
exactly.
going along with it.
He's like, wait, what did I just say? you know,
No, I love that. I want to see the look on Smoker's face when he has that same burst. It is like, oh my god, am I becoming one of them?
am I one of them?
I
He's so
fucking
good.
love Law. No, I really after this, I really want to see Smoker on the crew. Uh,
I'm good if he doesn't, but I think that's a fun one to have to think about.
yeah, no, like I don't need him on the crew, but just I want to see him having a hard time adjusting to life with the Straw Hats.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I think it's down to Smoker, Vivi, and Bonnie. It's one of them, in my opinion, and they all seem equally likely. Except Bonnie probably seems the least likely, and Vivi seems the most likely.
Yeah, I see Vivi happening.
You know
I'm
what?
just saying.
You know
I'm
what?
just saying.
I don't see
Time out.
Vivi happening. I see Vivi doing the thing again where like she travels with them for an indefinite period of time, but has to go back and be the queen at the end of all this. There's no
I can
way
see
she
that.
leaves
That's
her
fun.
people. But I'm
All
also
right.
fine if Phoebe just comes along for another excursion.
I mean, it's one of those things where like she joined with the crew. She can't go back to her kingdom right now anyway.
No, for sure not.
So
She's gonna join
I
with them. She's gonna be with them through the end, but at the end,
mhm,
she's gonna dip.
you're right. But also jumping onto that former enemy, I'm just saying, Waffle, Waffle for Shrine. You heard it here first, folks.
There's no
Dude,
way
think about it.
Chopper would do that.
Think about it though, all right? He takes a bite out of the sunny, all of a sudden he become the Adam Tree would. I'm just saying.
He'd have to be able to bite through the atom tree, though.
Who's to say he can't? Dude can bite through stone walls already,
Yeah, but it's the fucking atom tree. Also, when are we
I'd be
gonna get
curious.
more about the atom tree, the Eve tree, the what's the other
Are
tree?
we? Are there more than one tree? I
Yeah,
don't remember this.
yeah. So the atom tree is the one that makes the really strong wood. The Eve tree is the one that brings light down to Fishman Island. And
Oh, you're
I want
right.
to say
You're right.
there's also a tree of knowledge, but like I don't expect the trees to have a major backstory, but we have
No,
pretty significant trees going on.
yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't expect it, but
I need at least something about them, you know. They've obviously got important biblical names and a story
yep.
about gods and devils. They've got
And
to have
also,
something to do with something.
also a ship called Noah. Like I don't know. Maybe there's something there.
There's something there. I don't know how much or what, but there's something. Well, you got any more thoughts on old on happenings?
Whew. I mean, we have eaten good for like the last month or so with all these chapters, and now we're going on a month break. So I'm in a good spot. I don't think I'm good for no chapters for the next couple few weeks. Oda, get rest up, get your
Yeah,
eyes
no.
checked and fixed.
Take it easy. Take care of yourself. Honestly, as much as I'm excited for the chapters, my biggest disappointment is I'm not going to have any content coming out One Piece related. Like, there's obviously no chapter
Mhm.
reviews, but this will limit theories. This will limit like updates and opinions. There goes a lot of
People
my
will be
YouTube time for the next month.
people will be posting theories anyway because we're on break and they have nothing better to do. So don't you worry, don't you
But
worry.
check us back here Monday. Tomorrow night we're going live with probably some Deep Rock Galactic, and Thursday jumping into our three-way Soul Link Nuzlocke. Uh,
Also, also,
oh, also, yeah, forgot about this, Patrick. Please.
Also, in less than an hour, starting at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be going live and reacting to the Xbox Showcase and Starfield Direct. That'll start at 12, probably go a couple hours. It'll be a chill time. I'm not gonna, it's not gonna be super crazy or anything. So if you're not watching anyone else live reacting to that, jump on over here. I'll be here. Maybe we'll have some guests. Who knows? But it'll be a fun time. So join us then.
Yeah, check us in an hour. Check us Monday night. Check us Thursday at the regular time. And who knows? We may or may not have something coming at you over next weekend. But if you're
Who
enjoying the
knows?
content, please give us, consider giving us a follow, subscribe, like, comment, share, tweet, Twitter, social media. We're on there. We tweet our
Instas.
twits. We gram our instas. And from what I hear, we do have a YouTube channel. So please
Yeah,
feel free to check us out there. If you're enjoying the content, let us know what we're doing right. We enjoy making it for you, and we hope you're enjoying it. But we'll check you
yeah.
next time.